Hi guys, welcome to my Vermont project. Please come in, I want to show you around. When I first came into this property, the first thing I wanted to tackle was the red brick that was on every single interior wall within this house. As beautiful as it was, because it was quite historic, coming from the Melbourne shot tower in Melbourne Central Station, this was the best place to strip it all out and just give it a really crisp, white, inviting entrance. And to do that, we've gone for a hand plastered render rather than a plaster board over the brick, and then we've given it this nice natural white paint finish. We have preserved the VJ panels all along the walls because they are part of the original home, and we wanted to keep as much of the original home as possible. And we also stripped up the floor, which was kind of like a travertine tile, and we put down this 220 long and 220 wide oak floorboard, which completely transformed the space. And the next thing we changed was the light fitting. So originally we had a really big cast iron light fitting here taking up the center of the space. It was so big that it actually had to be cut out. We replaced that light with these stunning David Trowbridge lights, which are oak on the outside and white on the inside, and they cast this beautiful glow on the walls at nighttime due to the sculptural element of the light fitting itself. And then this staircase that I'm on got a bit of a facelift. So we've stripped it back, restained it, and we've painted the balustrades white. And we've also added this lovely thick carpet runner going the whole way up the staircase and into the first floor as well, which adds a nice cozy layer, a welcoming, inviting environment when you open the front door. Coming into the lounge/office room, you can see that it's a little bit darker from where we've just come from, and that was the intention. So this room doesn't get a lot of natural light because of where it's positioned within the home, but it also has a lot of trees outside which are taking away from the natural light. So instead of trying to brighten this up and failing, we've gone deliberately dark so that you can clearly tell we've gone out of our way to make this a dark and cozy and intimate space. So the contrast between the dark and the light is really what makes this room balanced by doing things like putting white on the fire here and putting white on the ceiling and on the VJ paneling behind the joinery. This fire originally was black and it had this big built up detailing on the top, and the way I described it to my clients is it looked haunted. So we stripped off the top and we painted it white, and it's come up beautifully, and I think it looks like the hero of the room. It's great, and I'm so glad we saved it because it really does look fantastic. You'll see that we've kept a little bit of brick on the fire breast, and this was deliberate because slowly as we go through the home, I start exposing some of the brick, because at the back of the house, we keep the brick in its true form. So this is a little peekaboo moment into the brick. Another request from my clients was to put in some more storage because they have a lot of stuff, they're family, but they don't actually have much storage. So by building in the floor to ceiling joinery, they've got ample space now to hide things away. And then we were able to build in this gorgeous desk with some light overhead. And it just gives you this nice balance between being an office and an intimate lounge space. So coming out of the lounge/office, we come into this incredible kitchen, which I am obsessed with. And the first thing I noticed about this home when I first got here was the chaos on the back wall. So originally we had the cooktop behind me next to the window, and then there was like an awkward corner cabinet in between the two windows, and overall it just felt so disjointed and so mismatched, and nothing felt planned and organized. So the first mission for me was to clear up this back wall so that these windows could actually become a feature and allow a lot more of the natural light to come through. The next thing was growing the size of the kitchen. So the original island was only about 1.2 meters long. So it was teeny tiny for a house of this scale. So we managed to make this bigger, and we added on another 2 meters onto the island, which allowed for 6 stools to sit either side of the island. And then from that, we could add this great extension of a dining table, which is flexible. It can actually be pulled out away from the island so that we can add an extra seat in here whenever we've got guests. And this becomes a 10-seater. All of the tall joinery in the kitchen is at the beginning, away from the windows, so that we can get all the natural light in through the windows and not be blocked by the tall joinery. There's 2 things in this kitchen that we preserved from the original. 1, the Belfast sink and the tap. 2, the cooktop, because both of them gave us the style that we were aiming for, which was a bit of a hybrid between modern and country. So for me, the real hero in this kitchen is this backsplash, the way it runs into the little shelf, and it gives us an opportunity to put a few personal memorabilias from my client's previous collection and just give it that country, old world, lived in kind of look. So by moving all of the upper cabinets off the walls, we were able to get a lot more natural light flooding in because there was no more blocking. So that's been really helpful. But then on top of that, we've actually added in this skylight. But surprise, surprise, there is a bedroom up there. So it's not a real skylight, it's actually a solar paneled artificial skylight. And it's completely transformed this room and brought in so much more natural light and made this kitchen far more usable. And on this section here, we were able to add in a breakfast bar which hides everything away so that they can make their mess in the mornings and not have to worry about it. And then down the back of the kitchen, we created a really cozy reading area because this space was a little bit unloved before, but complicated for the clients because they didn't know how to use it. So now we've created this cozy and intimate little reading area, and then repurposed their beautiful armoire, which was in the lounge room and was pretty much just used as a dumping ground, and there was anything and everything thrown into this. But now this is really setting the tone for that country vibe that we've got running through the overall kitchen. So it's perfect in here now. And lastly, we're coming into the rumpus room, which was laid out specifically for the clients to entertain. So we've got 2 viewpoints in this room, thank you to the new couch, where we can see the television here, or my clients can sit on this side and pull down the projector and enjoy sports and things like that. The brick in this room was kept deliberately because we wanted to pay respect to the property, and this was the perfect room to do it in because we've got such big scale to work with and the room can really take it. And I think it's come up really nicely, mixed with the warm and cozy textures brought in from the new furniture arrangement. We added in this seat cushion in boucle for a textural finish, and also just to add an extra layer of seating so that we can sit here and watch the projector screen and enjoy sports. Well guys, that's it. That's Vermont. Thank you so much for coming along. It was a pleasure showing you around, but if you don't mind, I'm going to play some pool now.